I'll unmute you.
Please
Manas, unmute yourself.
Hello, beta.
Okay.
Ravi can start, Ravi. Yes.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our another session. Today we have a great speaker. His name is Mr. Manas Ranjan Behera. Originally, it was his idea to start this kind of sessions. The original idea came because we were all talking about all things that were not as important as these things. So he only structured this idea, and this came into this forum. He is known as Shashi Tharoor in our. He is known as Shashi Tharoor in our batch because of his wisdom and volume of knowledge. He has done metallurgy engineering from Rourkela NIT, and he's a great engineer, and he's a very, very knowledgeable person. He has a great passion in reading, traveling, cooking, and stock market. Let us please hear from him and learn from him, and let us all have a great session here. Thank you very much. I welcome M.R. Behera, Manas Ranjan Behera to this session, please.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Ravi. With that, shall I start? Am I audible to all? Sam?
Yes, you are audible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Audible.
Loud and clear. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Hope you all are safe and healthy with your family during these pandemic times. I pray to God to keep all of us healthy and fine in these times. So I think you all have taken your brunch, so to say, or breakfast, whatever it is, because this session it may extend to one and a half hours or 2 hours maybe. So are you ready? Hopefully you are all. And this is a power brunch, so to say, Sunday power brunch. Not literally, but financially it's a power brunch. Okay, this is a very vast area to cover. Kindly, I need all of your cooperation on this regard, because audio in mute, and keep your questions ready till the question answer session starts. Okay, thank you very much. And with that a small introduction, I shall begin my presentation. So here you go. Okay, this is a small slide. Actually, it's an Excel sheet screenshot which has been taken. It's about retirement planning. So most of us are of an average age of around 45 years. I have taken it as an average of 45 years. Maybe someone may be around 46, maybe someone 43, 44. Doesn't matter, but it's an indicative thing. You can do your own calculation. I can share the Excel sheet later on. Monthly expense, family monthly expense is around 30,000. That's an average. Well, some say that it's a very minimal amount. Maybe it may go up to 40,000, 45,000, or 50,000. I'm not saying that this is an absolute amount. You can always put your expenses as per your like, because there are so many other expenses. And calculated retirement age at 60 on an average, because some may retire early, like some defense personnels. They like to retire early. Some like business persons, they want to work beyond 60. So I've taken retirement as a 60 as an average. So number of years for retirement. My current age is around 45. Retirement age is 60. So number of years for retirement is 15 years. Life expectancy, 80 years I have kept as an average. This is again indicative. You can modify it, whatever. And this 80% percentage of expenses after retirement. So this one I would like to explain a little. Why 80%? Because while we are earning, we tend to travel by, just an example. We go to office, we'll take a car. We take Uber. We may take a taxi, and something like that. But after we retire, so we do not have that income source. So we tend to cut down a bit. Suppose I want to travel to somewhere, I'll take a public transport, maybe a bus. So just an example, maybe our food habits change, something like that. So our expenses now and after retirement, it will be around 20% less than what we are spending now. That's an assumption. You can add it, you can subtract it also. So inflation rate currently it is around 7%. Maybe it may go high, it may go low. That also you can change it. So with these calculations, so value of monthly expenses post retirement, what it will come? Inflation is it's actually inflation and time. These two always are working against us. They are never stopping. Inflation will always eat your money. I mean, your purchasing power of your money decreases as the time passes. So that inflation, if you take it, that value of monthly expenses, which is now 30,000 post retirement, it will be around 66,000. So number of years after retirement we have to survive is 80 years. So number of years after retirement will be 20. I assume that return on corpus, I mean, you have kept the money after to use it after retirement. That corpus, I assume that return on corpus will be around 8%. So 8% is a very, I mean, it's a very high amount, I suppose. So it will be around 6 to 7% at max. Going by this present interest scenario and other things into consideration, it will be slightly less. Anyway, it is just an approximation. So corpus required to account for retirement expenses will be around, you can find 1 crore 44 lakhs 10,253. So it will be around 1 crore and 45 lakhs. You need that much of corpus. Again, how you build it? That is the point. I hope you already might have invested somewhere. So that return on, you have to build this corpus. Now, there are many options how you do build the corpus. So proceeding to next slide. Now, what is financial planning? It is not just savings. What is the difference between savings and investment? Savings, usually what it means that people do this usually to meet the short-term goals. I'll save it. Suppose 1 year after I need to buy a bike or maybe something else, very small amount, that is savings. Savings bank account interest rate is very low, around 4%, 4 to 5% maximum. So those are actually savings. But financial planning, like investing and other things, those are actually long-term goals. So long-term goals are big decisions like buying house, saving for your child's education, retirement planning. These are all big decisions and long-term goals. The best reason for investing is that your money is actually making money for you. So start saving early and you'll be prepared when you need it. Whether you are saving for a home, a child's education or your retirement. If you start saving in your 20s, you'll be off to a great start. If you don't, you'll play catch up for the rest of your lives. Youngsters have an advantage that older people don't have. That is time. When they understand this concept and use time in their favor, young people have a much better chance of pursuing their dreams and reaching their financial goals. So today we find people living their means, having credit card debt, making risky investments, doing things that are irresponsible, like impulsive buying. Suppose you go to a store, you don't need this. You are visiting a e-commerce store or a plain brick or mortar store. You go there, you don't need actually. You start buying things. Those are irresponsible and impulsive buying. You see a nice dress, you go and immediately buy it. You don't require it. That's not a need. That's just a want. You are just converting your want to need. You need to understand this. So these are against the basic principles of financial planning. Sorry. Financial planning, both short-term and long-term savings, a portion of saving is invested in certain assets. So remember, what are assets and liabilities? That you have to always distinguish. An asset which gives a future value of money and it appreciates. A liability, it takes away your money and falls in value. For example, you buy a house, that appreciates. You have a mutual fund, that appreciates. But you buy a car, does it appreciate in value? You think. Anyway, whether one's income is small or large, setting aside some of it for investments requires self-discipline. This is very vital. Time and self-discipline. By maintaining discipline to postpone buying certain things they would like to have now, they can enjoy the longer term benefits of having that money work from them through savings and investments. मेरा एक दोस्त था, one of my friend was there when I was working in HL Bangalore. I remember, I like to tell a small story. Every now and then, when I get a salary, I go to the market, I'll buy a Walkman. Another thing, I'll buy 2 dresses. Being of my same age, he advised one thing. Very nice chap. I remember Mr. Puneet Arora. He was from Lucknow. He told me, Manos, you want to spend your money? Fine. Do it. But don't do this way. You save your money. You want to spend 3,000? Keep it. Keep it for 12 months. You have 36,000. Now you spend. So when spending small amounts, we do not think. But when it's a big amount, there is a tendency that we will decide, well, I have 36,000 rupees or 40,000. I have to spend it wisely. So think in that way. Be disciplined. If you want to spend it wisely. Financial planning isn't something that happens by itself. It requires planning, focus, and discipline. Again, मैं तो पक्का ये आज मैं सुन लिया, ये बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे. मैं कल से इन्वेस्टिंग शुरू करने की कोशिश करूंगा. नहीं कल से क्यों, देखता हूँ मैं कुछ अभी जिंदगी ना मिलेगी दोबारा, मैं खर्चा करता हूँ अभी. I'll go for spending as if there is no tomorrow. मैं वेट करता हूँ, मे बी another 2-3 years में वेट करता हूँ, उसके बाद मैं इन्वेस्टमेंट करूंगा या जो भी फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग. that is the biggest mistake we do by postponing to invest. Then you are paying an opportunity cost. I have already said, जितना जल्दी शुरू करोगे, the earlier you start, the maximum gain you will get. That is the power of compounding. So youngsters have big advantage over us. We are already 45 years. Youngsters, especially those children who are listening to me, if you start today, you cannot imagine how much benefit you will get. If you start today or by 23 years, suppose I assume that by 23 years, everyone will get a job. If you start now, 23 years, I guarantee by 50 years, you will retire. No need to work until 60 years. Anyway, I would rather wait until I have more money. Again, another mindset. मेरे पास जब पैसा आएगा, मैं तब जाके invest करूंगा. This is very bad. These are all opportunity cost, time cost. Everything is eating away your money. Okay. I'll proceed to next slide. Why financial planning? It needs be prepared to sustain yourself. Future is relying on you. Your dependents need you. These are the certain reasons why everyone needs financial planning. Who doesn't? You tell me. Emergencies will hit you. Then you have to. There is medical exigencies. There are certain exigencies. Suppose your child goes to foreign, you need corpus for that. You don't have a job. You just cannot do till your last breath. You cannot work. So you have to plan. This is another thing. Savings. Normally, what we see, income minus expenses is equal to saving. That's a wrong mindset. First, you need to pay yourself. That is income minus the savings or investment what you have planned for long term. First you do it, then whatever is left, you have to go for expenses. And for that, you need budgeting. Budgeting means planning all your expenses for a month or maybe 6 months in advance and sticking to it. Be disciplined and manage your expenses. Sit with your better half or maybe your child or maybe your senior, whoever is there. You plan accordingly. Every pie counts. Trust me, every single paisa counts. Because I know it, how a single paisa, even a single paisa can, really, I'll explain my experience. Once there was a trade in the market, I kept my order somewhere around 522.55. The market just came to 522.6, then went up widely. That 5 paisa cost me nearly about maybe around 2 lakhs rupees. So if you know the value of paisa, every paisa, how it counts, then you'll know. Okay, it's not how much money you make, but how much money you keep. That is very important. How hard it works for you. Now you should always think that money will work for you, not you. Money will make money. Now this is the basic structure of our financial planning. You can say this is a very bare minimum skeleton structure. There are different ways of investing saving. We have safety of capital like fixed deposit, public provident fund, employee provident fund who are employed, post office schemes. Now, coming to return oriented, where the capital is at risk. I repeat, the capital is at risk. I mean, there is a chance that you can lose 100% of your capital. But usually, that is theoretically, but still you can lose your capital. So be careful. These are return oriented because risk and return both are directly proportional. The more the risk, the market rewards you for taking the risk. It's just like insurance. What is insurance? Insurance is, that is our risk. The company LIC or whatever, HDFC Life Insurance or any general insurance, home insurance, United India Assurance, what they do, they carry your risk. And for that, they charge you a premium. And that is all that comes under actuarial science. And the number of more people subscribe to a scheme, the more benefit the company gets because it averages out. But there are certain instances like hurricane and cyclones where the whole industry gets, they get hit because the number of claims when increases, that may bankrupt the insurance also. So that is the case here. So you may not know you are paying for the risk. Sorry. So this is the safety of capital. We have debt instruments like fixed deposits and return oriented. We have mutual funds, diversified. Mutual funds are again divided into different sectors. I'll explain it later. And those are diversified, sectoral, and ETFs. What are ETFs? ETFs are actually exchange traded funds. They are cheaper than mutual funds, and there can be traded like stocks every day, just like cash segment stocks. And here we have stocks and IPOs. What is IPO? IPO is initial public offering. That is primary market. Suppose a company needs to raise capital. They issue certain number of shares. That is for primary subscription. You have to subscribe it. There is a lottery. Suppose there are 100 shares and subscription is 200 people. Then there will be a lottery, and according to that, you will get allotment. Very difficult because good companies, their oversubscribed maybe 100, 150 times. So if there is a lock, you will get the IPO. This IPO story, let me tell you one thing before proceeding forward. Suppose Maruti came out in IPO in 2003. Suppose a Maruti customer, he has 2 lakhs of rupees in 2003. So he thought that instead of buying an 800 car, I'll buy 2 lakhs of worth of IPO in 2003. So he postponed his impulsive buying. What I told, that 800 car, he postponed it. And he bought 2 lakhs worth of IPO in 2003. Okay, IPO, he may not get allotment. Maybe next day he bought 2 lakh rupees after listing of the IPO. Now, at present value, it would be around 80 lakhs. That 2 lakhs would be around 80 lakhs. So, can you imagine 80 lakhs you can buy how many Marutis? Or maybe an Audi or BMW. Or you can simply, that 80 lakhs rupees, you can put it in a bank and get returns. Now you see that car, was it a liability or asset? On the IPO, was it a liability or asset? Now you decide. Another story. Okay, this is another aspect. I'm talking about Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. I mean, most of you are following, those who are following the stock markets and other things must be knowing that Rakesh Jhunjhunwala is our Indian Warren Buffett. And very good investor and huge investor. His net worth is around 8,000 crores of rupees now. So he had brought Crisil shares somewhere around 1992 in IPO. But he sold those Crisil shares in 2005 to buy a 27 crore flat in Malabar Hill in Mumbai. Had he remained invested, his shares would be worth rupees 600 crore in 2015. I'm excluding 2021. 2021 would be around 1,000 crores. I'm excluding the dividend. If you add dividend, it will be another 200 crores. Now the question is, had he really done a wise thing or not? this is actually not a very easy question. The flat, on the other hand, is only now around 100 crores. So what he has lost? So around 1100 crores he has lost? No, actually. This is actually a hindsight wisdom. Now suppose that 27 crore which he had invested in Chrysler, if the price would not have appreciated to 600 crore, it will be around 2 crores. Then what would happen? So it can go both ways. It's not that. Another thing, he had bought a house, now that is a value to it, and he's staying in it. That is the value. It's not about the price. Price and value both are different. Anyway, this story has too much of survivorship bias, but still there is a truth about to postponing, about buying. He has bought an asset, but Maruti car wasn't an asset. So we go to next, return oriented commodity. Commodity also, people are buying gold, physical gold, and some are buying exchange traded funds. What is that called? Electronic gold, silver, real estate. These are all return oriented. Real estate, of course, the risk is less. Gold and silver also, risk is not that much as compared to stocks. Now we have another plan, insurance and pension. You all are doing life and health, general insurance of your home, the vehicles, and NPS, National Pension Scheme. That is for long-term planning to get pension after retirement. This is actually what makes our skeleton of our financial goal. Now, the three factors to consider: liquidity. Is real estate liquid? Or the cash is liquid? You decide. Or the stock. Wherever you are investing, suppose there is an exigency, you need the money now. Can you get it out? That is liquidity. Number two is risk. How much risk you are willing to take? That differs from person to person, and it is specifically designed for a person. And you have to really consult a certified. There are certified financial managers. You have to consult them. He will analyze your risk profile. He will analyze your income statement. He will analyze everything. Then he will recommend whether how much percentage you are going to invest in debt instruments, how much in cash, how much in real estate. So that is the risk and return. How much return you are expecting? Be realistic. You cannot expect a 20% return from a stock every year. So be realistic. So those returns and risks are always directly proportional. Coming to the next slide. So this is power of compounding, which I was telling. Time is always against us. So you have to keep mind of your time. Compounding interest. So we have heard the maxim so many times: time and tide waits for none, from our childhood. Now remember, replace the tide with money. Time and money waits for none. Mind this particular thing, money never sleeps, neither does time. It is always ticking, and it is in perpetual motion. Every day, somewhere around the world, the money keeps changing hands, and they ditch the unsmart people. They go to the smart hands. You have to keep the trail of smart money. Now the power of computing. This is actually known as the eighth wonder, as per Albert Einstein. Now you understand it. Who doesn't pay it? Now see, 1 year, compounding 10%, simple interest 10%. Now, until if you see this particular graph, I have invested 1 lakh rupees, both sides. One for compounding, one for simple. Now, until 5th year, there is not much of difference. You see, even till 20th year, the difference is almost 100%. But if you see 25th year onwards, it spirals. It just gets exponential. Now, that is what the time works for you, and compounding both. Compounding means the interest. You earn interest on the interest, not only capital. So that interest gets added to your capital, and that capital and interest makes another capital for the next year. So you get interest on the interest. That is what I was saying. Money works for you. Now this is the graphical representation of simple versus compound interest for 40 years. You can see how much difference we are getting. The same 1 lakh rupees, it is somewhere around after 40 years, it is just 4,20,000 for simple interest. But see, after 40 years for compound interest, it is 21,72,000. How much difference is there? You can find it. Now, this is the formula for those who want to get to the details. But actually, what I would like to suggest here, these formulas, technical terms are of no use actually. You need to know. I'm not telling that it's not required, but practicality is what required. What you do if you know the formula, if you cannot apply, there's no point. So you have to always see the practical side of it. Be it anywhere. Any theoretical knowledge is not going to help unless you are skilled enough. I mean, if you don't get your hands dirty on the job, it is of no use. Be it engineering, be it finance, be it any field. That I believe. You have to be practical. There are certain theories which won't work every time and each time. So you have to find out. But anyway, but still this is the calculation part. School children might be very aware of it, and our friends some might have forgotten. So this is for their refreshment. Again, to refresh their memory, how this compound interest and simple interest is calculated. Now moving on to next slide. Now there are certain thumb rules, but again there is a catch on thumb rules. Every thumb rule doesn't apply everywhere. You have to actually use your own diligence. But still, these are rough rules. Actually, thumb rules means you do not use it as a very strict rule. I mean, you have to abide by this. This is very absolute and all. This is not like that. Thumb rule means it's just a guidance. Okay. So now we'll come to what is rule of 72. Now, rule of 72 is used to see how much time we get to double our investment. Rate of interest, suppose you invested somewhere. Suppose I say I invest it in a post office scheme. So maybe post office monthly national savings certificate. I assume that 72 divided by the rate of interest. Now presently national savings certificate interest is 6.8. But I have taken it as 3. You can calculate for 6.8. Now how many years it will take to double? So it takes with 3% interest, your capital to double, it takes 24 years. If you see this national savings certificate and Kisan Vikas Patra, 6.8, 6.9. So it will take roughly 10 years, 3 months to 4 months to double your amount. Moving on to next slide. Another is 4% withdrawal rule. This is another rule of thumb. This is more of a financial discipline rule than an investing rule because it deserves a mention. Most people try to save for the retirement years and create a corpus that outlasts them. However, with inflation rates being unpredictable, there is a risk of burning through the corpus before time. तो क्या होता है एक्चुअली हम लोग का जो कॉर्पस होता है ड्यू टू इन्फ्लेशन अनप्रेडिक्टेबल इन्फ्लेशन क्या होता है वी दैट पर्टिकुलर कॉर्पस जो है इट डिप्लीट्स फास्टर देन वी हैड एक्सपेक्टेड सो दैट this 4% withdrawal rule is designed for retirees to ensure a steady income stream without spending their savings at a fast pace. According to this rule, if you withdraw 4% of retirement corpus every year, not every day, pardon me, you will be able to manage your living cost. According to the rule, if you have a retirement corpus of 1 crore, just assume, then to manage your living expenses, you must withdraw not more than 4 lakh per year. This is the 4% withdrawal rule you have to keep in mind. If it becomes 5 to 10% per year, I mean 10 lakhs you are withdrawing, then within maybe another 10 years, you will deplete your capital. That 1 crore will almost become nil. Now, coming to the 100 minus age rule, that is the rule which, there's a thumb rule. Now, how much percentage we are going to invest in debt instruments like the fixed deposits, government bonds, and how much we are going to invest in riskier assets like equity, mutual fund. Those are equity exposures. The balance which is, this one is equity. Suppose your age, now you are 30 years old. That 100 minus 30 is 70%. So according to this rule of thumb, you need to invest 70% of equity and 70% of your investment in equity and 30% in debt instruments. But our age is 45, or maybe just average age is 45. So equity investment should not exceed maximum of 55% and another 45% in debt instruments like fixed deposits and other deposit debt instruments you have to allocate accordingly. But again, this is just a rule of thumb, because each individual has his own risk profile that you need to consult on real, those experts out there, certified financial planners to plan. This is just a thumb rule to just indicative. Coming on to next slide. Absolute return. Now, this is a very important part. What is absolute return and compounded annual growth rate? What do you do exactly? Suppose.
Manas, sorry
yes.
to interrupt.
Okay.
I believe we are almost halfway through the session. Maybe we can take a little pause before getting into this and take any questions.
Fine.
Because I know it's been a little heavy session, I think.
Individual queries we can settle later.
Exactly.
Let him complete. Yeah.
Okay. What let me explain. What I'm giving is a very broad idea. If you want to keep into it, mutual fund will take a session itself. And
we'll have a dedicated session on mutual funds.
Yes, that will be fine.
Who he invests a lot, and he spends a lot of time on mutual funds. He can take up a session. Okay, we'll have
this particular slide, which I have shown in the screen. This actually deals with the mutual fund basically, and other things it is there. But specifically, I'm targeting mutual fund investors.
Okay.
Now you are calculating absolute return. What is absolute return? Suppose I invest 1,000 rupees and I get 2,000 rupees. So finally, I get 100% return. That is absolute return. Now the time frame is not there. I am very happy. Even after 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, I get 1,000. I get 2,000 out of 1,000. I am very much happy. But do you really think that this 100% return stands the test of time? Now you will see compounded annual growth rate. Now that 1,000 rupees became 2,000 in 5 years. So what is the actual compounded annual growth rate? That is only 14.86%. Do you think that 100% which was happy, now it stands, it stands where it stands? It is only 14.86%. Now, every mutual fund, now you have to see two things. Historical return. Again, historical return is never a predictor of future return. Number two, assets under management, AUM. How much money the asset manager, mutual fund manager is managing. The more the corpus, the more people are there to invest. That particular manager has got flexibility to invest riskier avenues. Very short, very small amount he has, then he doesn't have that much room to play. No, now you have to see assets under management, historical return, and if possible, you have to see the track record of the particular fund manager. It is out there in public. That fund manager, where he was, how he was managing, what is his track record, you can do it. Number 4 comes the compounded annual growth rate. These 4 you compare. Then how you compare? Can you compare equity with a sectoral fund? No, that's a wrong idea. Every sector, suppose I am to say buy a mutual fund in suppose finance sector. Can I compare that finance sector with automobile sector or sugar sector or steel sector? That would be a blunder. Now you have to compare the funds which are operating inside a particular sector. Now suppose you are going to equity diversified funds are there. Now you want to go for index funds are there. Your debt funds are there. There are many types of funds. There's a very good website is there, a mutual fund Sahi Hai. You go to the website, investor education booklets are there, you can read. But again, I really tell this is a very involved method. It's not very easy. What Nisang has already pointed out, in spite of knowing all theories, it again boils down to practicalities. Once you get your hand dirty, once you invest your money, then emotions comes into picture. Then you have a big problem. Now, when the fund is generating losses, would you exit or remain invested? These are the questions need to be answered. Anyway, these type of things has to be, I'm keeping it for next session. I'm proceeding forward. Thank you. Okay. This is the risk reward graph. See, they're both are, as I said, directly proportional. The more the risk, the more the return. Again, the biggest risk of all is not taking one. Okay, there is no such thing as risk-free investment. Even banks are going kaput. Even your fixed deposit is not safe. We have seen so many cases. Banks can, they can go bankrupt. You don't have your money. This risk and return relationship is a trade-off. Risk cannot be eliminated, but managed. Manage your risk through diversification. Again, this is a very big area, how to manage risk. And through diversification is very easy to say, but actually it is very difficult to diversify. How much money, how much diversification is ideal? There are so many calculations are there. Anyway, just for let's keep it for another day. Some other day we'll discuss. Now, types of risk. These are the types of risk. Systematic risk, unsystematic risk, inflation risk, liquidity risk, business risk, volatility risk, currency risk. Now, market risk. Market risk क्या है? An investor may experience losses due to factors affecting the overall performance of the financial markets. These are all systemic risks. Unsystematic risk क्या है? We described as the uncertainty inherent to a particular company or industry. ये suppose मैं steel sector में invest किया, but there are certain companies, particular मान लीजिए you take JSW Steel, उसका particular industry, particular वो company specific कुछ problem होगा, that becomes unsystematic risk. Another is inflation risk, also called as purchasing power risk, is the chance that the cash flows from an investment aren't worth as much in the future as they are today because of a decline in the purchasing power due to inflation. That I have already indicated. The purchasing power of money decreases day by day. That is inflation. Liquidity risk. Liquidity risk arises when an investment cannot be bought or sold or converted into cash quickly. Liquidity risk, as I have said, real estate is not very liquid. Again, there are certain stocks, there are certain funds which are not also very liquid. Again, you have to very judicious how much volume daily they are traded. Suppose you have maybe 20 lakhs of worth of share, you want to sell it, but there are no buyers there. How do you sell it? Very difficult. You cannot convert it into cash. So that part is called liquidity risk. There are certain companies, there are certain real time. If you see the market, you see the low volume stocks, you cannot buy and purchase in the heavy amount. Suppose you have 1 crore worth of share, you cannot do it. There will be a price impact. You just cannot do it. Again, business risk. It refers to that a business might stop its operation due to unfavorable market or financial situation, like our Diwan Housing Finance, Yes Bank. So those are all business risks. Volatility risk. It refers to the risk when the stock prices of a company may fluctuate, even when those companies aren't in danger of failing. Company sahi hai, pura bilkul company is very healthy, financial states are okay, management is fine, business environment is good. Still, there is a price fluctuation every day. So those are called volatility risk. Even that also you have to take into account how much volatile the stock is. Last is currency risk. Currency risk arises when there is a possibility of losing money due to unfavorable movements in exchange rates. It may happen from change in price of one currency in relation to other, and investors who have assets across national borders are exposed to this risk. ये मेरा especially the abroad friends, NRIs, जो लोग overseas friends है, especially RN and all, those who have invested, they already carry this type of risk, currency risk. Now, how to mitigate risk? The investors try to mitigate the risk by different means. Asset allocation is just one strategy. The diversification करना है, लेकिन volatility risk ये कैसे करना है? Volatility risk कैसे manage करोगे? You go to buy a mutual fund so that your risk is minimized. Volatility risk उसमें भी है, but individual stock purchase करने से mutual fund का volatility, because there are number of stocks are more, that volatility is averaged out, so that becomes less. Hope I am clear here. Proceeding to next slide. We're running short of time. What are the prerequisites to invest in securities? You need to have a saving account. Trading account, you have to contact a broker. You have to open a trading account, then a demat account. these are both three of them are required to start a trading and invest in securities and mutual funds is a different year, but still you need to have a account, savings account. You may not have a demat account, but you need to have your PAN card. Documents required. What are the documents required? There are three types of documents required: proof of identity, proof of address, proof of date of birth. And PAN card is a must, and your photograph. Documents required for demat account opening: a proof of identity, proof of address, a proof of income. Proof of income can be your income tax or maybe last 6 months a statement of your bank. PAN card, photographs, cancelled check. Documents need to open a demat account for a minor. Those who are 18 years below, minors PAN card. Above 10 years you can have a PAN card. Minors birth certificate, PAN card of the guardian, proof of bank accounts held in the name of the minor, proof of address of the guardian. These are all required for opening a bank account, and you are ready to go. But again, a word of caution: buying or selling of shares shall always be done through a SEBI registered stock broker. डब्बा ट्रेडिंग नहीं करना है. किसी से सुन के भाई मैं तुमको 10 रुपए में देता हूं, कल मैं तुमसे 20 रुपए से ले लूंगा. Do not go by that word. Go through registered intermediaries. Registered. They all brokers have their own SEBI registered number, NSE member number, BSE member number, MCX member number. You talk to them, you verify their credentials, then only. These are all hard-earned money. You do not give it like that. हम लोग एक एप्पल खरीदने से बार्गेनिंग करते हैं, भाई 120 रुपया नहीं होगा, हमको 100 रुपया में दो. बट व्हेन यू इन्वेस्ट इन लैक्स, हम लोग बार्गेनिंग नहीं करते. यू कैन बार्गेन विथ ए ब्रोकर, भाई हमारा चार्जेस कमाओ. यू डू इट. यू हमारा इतना चार्जेस हम नहीं दे सकते, आप इतना 3% क्यों चार्ज कर रहे हैं? मेक इट 1%. यू बार्गेन. इवन स्टॉक मार्केट में जाके आज इम्पल्सिवली अच्छा लग रहा है, आई एम वेरी फीलिंग वेरी गुड, वेरी नाइस. आज सुबह में बहुत अच्छा नाश्ता कर लिया, मेरे बीवी ने मुझे बहुत प्यार किया, मेरे बेटे ने बहुत प्यार किया मुझे, मैं आज सुबह जाके टाटा स्टील खरीद लिया. नेक्स्ट डे यू सी 10% ऑफ योर होल कॉर्पस इज गॉन. दिस इज कॉल्ड इम्पल्सिव बाइंग. कुछ रिसर्च नहीं करना है, किसी में कुछ देखना नहीं है. म्यूचुअल फंड वाला कोई बैंक से आया, सर आपण केमिति अछंती? बहुत भलो अछंती. अच्छा आज टिके घर को जीबी कथा पे आसंतु. जेमती व्हेनेवर ही और सी कम्स, ओ बैंक वाला का लिख के दे दिया, यू टेक 50,000 जस्ट लाइक दैट. लेकिन 120 रुपए का एप्पल खरीदने से यू ट्राई टू बार्गेन. दिस इज आवर मेंटालिटी. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. हम लोग स्टॉक मार्केट में जो एक्सचेंजेस है, वी हैव MCX, we have NSE National Stock Exchange, we have Bombay Stock Exchange. उसमें क्या क्या सब ट्रेडिंग होता है? शेयर्स, इक्विटी और स्टॉक्स, जो शेयर्स होता है उन लोगों का ट्रेडिंग होता है. एंड म्यूचुअल फंड्स भी ट्रेडिंग होता है उधर. म्यूचुअल फंड्स ऑल्सो भाया ब्रोकर्स, यू कैन ऑल्सो बाय म्यूचुअल फंड्स. उसमें बॉन्ड्स भी होता है, जैसे कंपनी का इशूड बॉन्ड्स, गवर्नमेंट इशूड बॉन्ड्स. और डेरिवेटिव्स. व्हाट आर डेरिवेटिव्स? डेरिवेटिव्स जो होता है, ये बड़ा बड़ा कंपनी जो है, बैंक्स, फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस, फॉरेन इंस्टीट्यूशनल इन्वेस्टर्स और बिग इन्वेस्टर्स लाइक राकेश झुनझुनवाला, व्हाट दे डू, सपोज उनके पास 5000 शेयर्स है रिलायंस का, उसको रिस्क मिटिगेट करने के लिए क्या करते हैं, वो डेरिवेटिव से, ऑप्शंस एंड फ्यूचर्स, वो सब है. तो उसको क्या करते हैं, दे हेज देयर पोजीशन, दैट इज कॉल्ड हेजिंग, टू मिनिमाइज द रिस्क. अब क्या पता कल सुबह, टुडे 11:30 आई थिंक दैट आवर फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर इज अनाउंसिंग समथिंग. आज 11:30 को था मीटिंग. सो दैट इज, आज हॉलीडे है, मार्केट खुला नहीं है, कल सुबह देखा कि मार्केट खुला 10% डाउन. उसमें कैसे करेंगे रिस्क मिटिगेट? यू कैनॉट टेक आउट योर मनी, आप इमीडिएटली निकल नहीं सकते. तो उसके लिए वो लोग क्या करते हैं, बड़ा बड़ा इंस्टीट्यूशनल इन्वेस्टर्स डेरिवेटिव्स यूज करते हैं. सो होप आई एम क्लियर. Now commodities. Now coming to commodities, commodities में भी बहुत सारा ट्रेडिंग होता है. एंड इसमें प्राइस मैनिपुलेशन, वन थिंग, प्राइस मैनिपुलेशन जो होता है इसमें बड़े बड़े शेयर्स में नहीं हो पा रहा है, बिकॉज सो मेनी बिग हाउसेस आर देयर. शेयर मैनिपुलेशन करना, इट नीड्स ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ मनी, ये हो नहीं सकता. बट स्मॉल कंपनीज जो पेनी स्टॉक्स आज 7 रुपया में है, खरीद लिया, वो 10 रुपया तक चला गया, स्टिल यू कैन नॉट गेट आउट, बिकॉज उस टाइम पे क्या होगा ना, सडनली सर्किट लगेगा. दोज आर ऑपरेटर डिफरेंट स्टॉक्स. उसमें क्या है ना, 10 crores जिसके पास है, he can manipulate. तो उसमें थोड़ा देख के. सिमिलरली कोमोडिटीज में क्या है, कोमोडिटीज आर ट्रेडेड वर्ल्ड वाइड. सपोज मैं बोल रहा हूँ मेटल्स और एडिबल सीड्स, उसमें क्या है ना, बुलियन, गोल्ड, सिल्वर, मेटल्स, एनर्जी, नेचुरल गैस, क्रूड ऑयल. क्रूड ऑयल जो है ये ग्लोबल ट्रेडिंग हो रहा है, इसमें मैनिपुलेशन का चांस ही कोई नहीं है. वन ऑफ द मोस्ट एफिशिएंट मार्केट्स आई हैव सीन आर commodities. I'm not telling that you go to commodities. बट कमोडिटीज में भी इन्वेस्टमेंट कर सकते हैं, लाइक बुलियन, गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर में इन्वेस्टमेंट कर सकते हैं। आई एम नॉट टेलिंग दैट यू गो फॉर क्रूड ऑयल, कॉपर, जिंक, बिकॉज आपका उसमें नॉलेज होना चाहिए। यू इन्वेस्ट वट एवर यू अंडरस्टैंड। अगर उसमें अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं है, ऑलवेज सीक द एडवाइस ऑफ ए रजिस्टर्ड फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर, जो आपको एडवाइस करे, या फिर पोर्टफोलियो मैनेजर्स भी है, दे विल चार्ज सम अमाउंट ऑफ मनी, बट दे विल कीप यू afloat. I mean, you won't lose your sat, you won't lose your whole amount of money, your whole corpus chala nahi jayega, and you won't be kicked out of your house. Coming to next slide, saving scheme in post office. Post office mein kya kya saving scheme hai, I have to run through because we are running short of time. These are all retirement corpus. उसमें farmers के लिए किसान विकास पत्र है, public provident fund, national saving scheme, senior citizen scheme, सुकन्या समृद्धि account. Now इसको every type of scheme, if I elaborate, it will take another half an hour. So I have to run. I'm really sorry, but I have to run. No other option. Time deposit, recurring deposit, PO monthly income. Now coming to insurance, the most important part. हम लोग विवेक and PK last maybe 15 days or maybe a month बोल रहे थे भाई इंश्योरेंस कर लो, इंश्योरेंस कर लो। भाई इंश्योरेंस करेंगे क्यों? जरूरत ही नहीं है इंश्योरेंस। What is insurance? इंश्योरेंस है हमारा, इंश्योरेंस किस लिए हम लोग करते हैं? इंश्योरेंस इज टू मिटिगेट आवर रिस्क। हम लोग रिस्क ट्रांसफर करते हैं। हम लोग का जो रिस्क है, अगर हम लोग उसको इंश्योरेंस करेंगे नहीं, देन यू हैव टू पे फ्रॉम आवर नेक। हम लोग को पैसा पूरा चला जाएगा। वी डू नॉट नो हाउ मच मनी। हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस अगर नहीं करेंगे, लाइफ इंश्योरेंस नहीं करेंगे, जनरल इंश्योरेंस नहीं करेंगे, तो करेंगे क्या? सो इंश्योरेंस provides protection against unseen eventuality and financial replacement. So it need to be adequate life, disability, accidental, hospitalization, बहुत सारा है। तो आपको क्वांटम ऑफ लाइफ इंश्योरेंस कितना चाहिए? जस्ट ए ब्रीफ में अप्रोक्सीमेट दिया हूँ। इनकम एक्सपेंसेस जितना हो रहा है पर महीना, उसके बाद लाइबिलिटीज उसको ऐड कर दीजिए। लाइबिलिटीज जितना लोन है आपका, कहाँ कितना इन्वेस्ट किया है, ये सब लाइबिलिटीज में डाल दीजिए। आपका गोल, आपका मान लीजिए किड्स एजुकेशन के लिए कितना चाहिए, बुढ़ापे में कितना चाहिए, हाउ मच यू नीड फॉर योर किड्स एजुकेशन, हाउ मच यू नीड फॉर योर रिटायरमेंट कॉर्पस, ये सब के लिए आप प्लान करके पूरा टोटल ऐड कर दे। दैट इज द क्वांटम ऑफ लाइफ इंश्योरेंस यू नीड। द पर्पस ऑफ इंश्योरेंस इज टू लीड ए नॉर्मल लाइफस्टाइल इन केस ऑफ योर एब्सेंस। आपका फैमिली इज डिपेंडेंट ऑन यू। हम लोग अगर नहीं रहेंगे, द सोल ब्रेड आर नॉट सीज टू एग्जिस्ट, तो ये इंश्योरेंस हमारे लिए ख्याल रखेगा। अगर सिमिलरली आपका इसमें देयर आर वेरी अदर टाइप्स ऑफ स्कीम्स एंड इंश्योरेंस। लाइफ इंश्योरेंस है, होल लाइफ है, टर्म इंश्योरेंस है, एंडोमेंट है, यूनिट लिंक्ड है, उसमें पर्सनल एक्सीडेंट कवर है, राइडर्स भी है, उसमें मोटर इंश्योरेंस है, हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस। हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, insurance coverage that covers the cost of an insured individual's medical and surgical expenses. The insured is the owner of the health insurance policy or the person with the health insurance coverage. ये इसको मैं डिटेल में बोलने से ये बहुत टाइम लगेगा, तो आई एम जस्ट रशिंग थ्रू, प्लीज बियर विथ मी। ट्रैवल इंश्योरेंस, हम लोग ये बहुत सारा ट्रैवल इंश्योरेंस भी हम लोग नहीं करते, बट दिस इज ऑल्सो वेरी वाइटल। प्रॉपर्टी इंश्योरेंस, ये ट्रैवल इंश्योरेंस जब लोग हम ये जाते हैं ना, कितना 5 रुपया लगता है, छोड़ो यार 5 रुपया कौन देता है, बट दीज आर वेरी माने कॉस्टली मिस्टेक्स। ये 5 रुपए के लिए यू मे लूज 50 लाख और मे बी 1 करोड़। अगर प्लेन में जा रहे हो, गॉड फॉरबिड किसी को कुछ ना हो, अगर प्लेन क्लाश कर गया, सपोज आप फॉरेन में है, किसी में एक्सीडेंट हो गया, हाउ यू आर गेटिंग कवर्ड? आपका तो जो नॉर्मल लाइफ इंश्योरेंस है वो सब क्लॉज है कि आप अगर ऐसे जा रहे हैं बाहर फॉरेन में, हम लोग कैसे रिस्क लेंगे? दैट इज नॉट आवर रिस्क। तो ये सब होता है। तो ट्रैवल इंश्योरेंस अगर लेंगे, स्टोलन लगेज हो गया, आपका कोई पासपोर्ट ले लीजिए, वेरी डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन, तो उस टाइम पे आपको इंश्योरेंस ही काम करेगा। सो प्लीज थिंक जे इंश्योरेंस इज नथिंग बट, मैं जो बोला अभी रिस्क, व्हाट इज रिस्क मिटिगेट करने के लिए डाइवर्सिफाई करना है। दिस इज ऑल्सो अनदर फैसेट ऑफ मिटिगेटिंग रिस्क। अभी कमिंग टू पेंशन प्लान, अभी रिटायरमेंट हो गया, तो अभी हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? नेशनल पेंशन स्कीम, नेशनल पेंशन स्कीम अभी सबके लिए ओपन है। आपको एक रिटायरमेंट अकाउंट नंबर, प्रान जो है परमानेंट रिटायरमेंट अकाउंट नंबर है, इट इज ओपन फॉर इंडियन सिटीजन्स 18 to 60 इयर्स। तो इसमें क्या है, आपका लॉक इन पीरियड है अंटिल 60 इयर्स। तो सर्वाइवल जो भी है, जिसका हम दोनों का हस्बैंड और वाइफ दोनों सर्वाइव कर रहे हैं, तो उसमें से 60% कॉर्पस आपको एन्युटी खरीदना है फ्रॉम ए कंपनी। एन्युटी खरीद के आपको एवरी मंथ यू विल गेट some amount as a pension till you die. आपका मरने के बाद जो टोटल 40% कॉर्पस है, ये आपका जो भी लीगल हायर है, he can close the pension scheme. Being a pensioner, no need to separate account for pension. The existing account can be used for receiving pension. Pension account can be transferred to another branch or different bank. Do remember to submit your life certificate to your bank branch in November every year. जीवन प्रमाण अभी आ गया है, ये डिजिटल लाइफ सर्टिफिकेट आप अपलोड कर सकते हैं यूजिंग आधार. अभी अटल पेंशन योजना, अभी एक्सक्लूडिंग नेशनल पेंशन स्कीम, अभी अटल पेंशन योजना जो आया है, the scheme is named after ex-Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, launched on May 9, 2015 to bring those unemployed in rural and organized sector. ये 18 to 40 years eligible to join the scheme. Should have savings bank account. ये 40 years, ये किसी को बोल सकते हैं, हम लोगों के लिए नहीं है, because we are already past 40 years. अभी टैक्स के लिए अभी इतना सब इन्वेस्टमेंट कर रहे हैं, सब कुछ कर रहे हैं. I'm just touching upon the tax angle. Mind you, let me declare I am no expert in taxation matters. It needs really deep knowledge. Maybe some tax expert will come and take a different session for this. Now, what is long-term capital gains tax, LTCG? अभी हम लोग जितना कुछ इक्विटी रिलेटेड प्रोडक्ट अभी हम लोग डील कर रहे हैं, हम लोग अगर एक साल के अंदर उसको बेचते हैं, सपोज बाय शेयर 100 shares of Maruti and sell it within 1 year, that is short term capital gains tax. आपका जो 15% हिसाब से आपको टैक्सेशन लगेगा ऑन द प्रॉफिट. अभी लॉन्ग टर्म एनीथिंग मोर देन 1 year, उसमें 10% आपको टैक्स लगेगा. In the case of investing, long term means holding period of more than 1 year from the date of purchase. Long term capital gains are profits earned on the sale of equity shares. Long term capital over 1 lakh on listed equity shares for financial year is taxable at the rate of 10% without the benefit of indexation. Long term capital gains tax is levied on the capital gains from shares and equity oriented mutual fund. Mutual fund में भी आपका tax लगेगा, capital gains tax, that are held for more than a year. Long term capital gains tax is charged at the rate of 10% on the gains above rupees 1 lakh in a financial year. अगर आपका 1 लाख के ऊपर आ जाता है जो गेन होता है, then only it will be taxed. Short term capital gains is charged at 15%. अभी एक एग्जांपल में दिखा है, बाय वैल्यू 3000, सेल वैल्यू 5000, सॉरी 3 lakhs, सेल वैल्यू 5 lakhs. अभी इसको मोर देन 1 year के बाद में सेल किया हूं, सो लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन हो गया 2 lakhs. ये प्रॉफिट इज 2 lakhs. 3 lakhs में मैं खरीदा था, आई सोल्ड इट एट 5 lakhs of rupees, सो आई गेट अ गेन ऑफ 2 lakhs of rupees. सो एग्जेम्पशन हो गया आपका, मैक्सिमम 1 lakh तक आपको टैक्स लगेगा नहीं. सो 1 lakh इज डिडक्टेड फ्रॉम दैट. सो टैक्सेबल लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन कितना होगा, 1 lakh rupees. तो उसमें 10% लगेगा. सो 10,000 इज योर टैक्स लायबिलिटी. अगेन another example for short term capital gains, buy value 3 lakhs, same sell value 5 lakhs, but it is less than 1 year. So अभी कितना गेन हुआ मेरा, so I gained 2 lakhs of rupees. अभी उसमें चार्जेस कितना लगेगा, 15% of 2 lakhs, so it is simply 30,000. इसमें 1 lakh का बेनिफिट नहीं है. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. These are nothing is certain but death and taxes. ये तो है, no one can deny. Few tax saving products. Section 80C में आपका ELSS, इक्विटी लिंक्ड सेविंग स्कीम, लाइफ इंश्योरेंस, नेशनल सेविंग सर्टिफिकेट्स, PPF, पब्लिक प्रोविडेंट फंड, EPF, एम्प्लॉय प्रोविडेंट फंड, सीनियर सिटीजन स्कीम, होम लोन प्रिंसिपल रिपेमेंट, NPS. सेक्शन 80D मेडिक्लेम, हम लोग जो अभी मेडिक्लेम अभी पॉलिसी लिया, उसको दिखाने से भी आपका टैक्स में रिबेट मिलता है सेक्शन 80D में. Home loan interest, section 24B. These are all, I have just touched upon the tax. I am not going into detail because I am no expert. Let me repeat time and again. This is just an indicative thing. You need a separate session on tax. Please bear with me. See, price is what you pay, value is what you get. Coming to the next slide. Abhi hum log, we have almost reached the end. So key takeaways. उसमें presentation से क्या-क्या हमको मिला? Key takeaways. Money grows with time. Understand the time value of money. Compounding में already आपको बोल दिया हूँ. Say no to procrastination. अभी नहीं करेंगे, देखते हैं 2 साल के बाद करते हैं. अगर पैसा होगा तब ना करेंगे, अभी थोड़ी करेंगे. ऐसा नहीं करना है. You don't do it. Discipline रखना है. Reap the benefits of compounding. Start early and stay invested longer. And start early मतलब आज कार खरीदना और ये टीवी खरीदना और ये इलेक्ट्रॉनिक सामान खरीदना, गैजेट्स खरीदना, आईफोन खरीदना. No. आपको जो asset में invest करना है, those will reward you with appreciation in value. iPhone doesn't appreciate in value, neither does TV, neither car. Don't borrow to invest. Golden rule. Don't borrow to invest. किसी से उधार लेके invest नहीं करना है, because your investment return is always less than what you are going to pay as a interest if you borrow the money. Another thing, investment, insurance especially. Insurance should not be taken as an investment vehicle. Insurance is purely for insurance. Anyway, diversify as per your risk profile. Insurance is not optional. Mind you, insurance is not optional. Plan early for retirement and old age. We are already approaching our old age, so be careful. Always plan for retirement. Inculcate good spending habits. These are very vital for the children. Your spending habits has to be very decisive. You have to think twice before spending anything. Never invest with tips and rumors. Always do your own research. Always remember, time and inflation both are working against us. And one more thing, time and money, words for now. Now, Warren Buffett's rule, never lose money. Rule 2, never forget rule number 1. Now, these photographs are some of the legends in investing field. Top 2 rows are foreign investors, and bottom row our Indian investors. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, our big bull of our Indian market. You can say Warren Buffett. Radhakrishna Damani, very beautiful. If you read his life story, it's very amazing. He is the owner of DMart, company DMart, listed on the NSE. Another is Vijay Kedia, Warren Buffett himself, Peter Lynch, George Soros, all investors and fund managers, Bill Ackman. Let me tell you a story about Bill Ackman. Watch his story on YouTube on how he sorted that company Herbalife. Herbalife, he was against Herbalife. I think Carl Icahn and Bill Ackman, they were opposite of the trade, that particular same company. Carl Icahn was long. I mean, he was pretty bullish, and Bill Ackman was short. He was bearish. And how their battle, that particular thing, you can see it on YouTube. And John Templeton, legendary. Coming to next slide. These are few recommended books and websites and movies. Margin Call, Inside Job. I think Inside Job I have just told. Inside Job everyone should watch. It's a very fantastic movie made by Sony Pictures. It is about the crash of market in 2008 and what made the crash and how it happened, who were the players. You can see it. And another thing is the Becoming Warren Buffett. It's a documentary on Warren Buffett. It's a fantastic movie in UTC, but other movies, I especially advise the parents not to show it to children. It's not for adults. It is for adults, not for the children, not below 18 years of age. And few websites I have shown: SEBI, NSE India, that insurance development, insurance regulatory authority, mutual funds, and other sites like Money Control and other things. So you need to explore those websites. They have got fantastic material, very educative material, and you need to read those. And I'm sure that you'll gain from those. And these are the books. Some of the books I have. If you get time, you get a soft copy, either audio book. These are all very fantastic books. They have very nice, ratings on websites. Okay. Now I finished my presentation totally. Thank you very much. This last one line you need to see: no one succeeds alone. Learn everything you can from everyone you can. So we need to stay together. We need to learn together from each other, and this session should continue. Thank you very much for your patience. Well, now this particular slide, please read through. Very vital.
Bhai M.R. Vera, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Presentation was brilliant. As you suggested earlier, if you could please share all your presentation material in our group.
Definitely.
We can read it again, and that will be very beneficial.
That will do. Definitely.